boys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is, you know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Married at First Sight. Pastor Cal, there was an article that I read of Pascal responding to the criticism of Chris Williams. He doesn't really respond to it, but it's a prompting for a conversation that we need to have around this topic. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of what uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, well, you got the minerals, you got the minerals. All right, cool. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to read the article and then have a little bit of a discussion with yourselves going forward as well. So it says, Married at First Sight expert Pastor Calvin Robinson has responded to the criticism of Chris Williams' casting on season 12, insisting Chris's behaviour surprised the MAF experts and they would never compromise a couple's match for the sake of ratings. I want to stop there because that's the first liner, and I really think that obviously on this show, and I'm going to do another video part 2 where I'm going to talk about Dr. Viviana's video where she said that the experts are responsible for the couples. Let me say it again. The experts are responsible for the couples. Therefore, I am now looking at it completely differently to say, how did we get here? And whose fault was it that there wasn't some background checks? Now, I know they probably don't do it. Those are runners behind the scenes who do background checks. Now, that means somebody is messed up somewhere, because for us to get to a point where we're choosing Chris, and they're gonna talk about the reason why they chose Chris for Paige, I'm concerned, because obviously they do a whole psychometric testing and everything like that. So unless he lied all the way through himself, which is possible, then I'm a bit concerned by the way he's behaving. Not only that, there's evidence online of his particular behavior. There's evidence online of his engagement not only a few months ago. So I mean, it's a simple Google search, but hey ho. So let me continue. It says, Pastor Cal, who insisted fellow experts Dr. Pepper Schwartz and Dr. Vivian Coles in matching 5 Atlanta-based couples to wed on Married at First Sight this season, took to Instagram on Wednesday with a video post advising couples to not let arrogance or pride ruin their relationships. Well, we're already here. We're already here, aren't we? Because I really believe that we're at a point where obviously his pride, his arrogance, I believe is showing in a way that the way he speaks to Paige. I mean, I'm no problem. I've got no problem with people who are straight shooters. Yeah, I've got no problem with people who are straight shooters who talk straight. But the talking straight was to the point where the guy's asking sex on the wedding day. Yeah, at the table. Now, if you're an established couple already, yes, that's YouTube banters. That's fine. That's YouTube banters, right? If this is a private conversation, that's YouTube banters, right? But this was a conversation he was asked, and he was the predominant one asking these questions, seemingly from what we saw in the edit, about sex to her. So that's where we're looking at the problematic behavior here. So yes, don't let pride or arrogance ruin your relationship. Yes, but not in this case. He's got another girl pregnant as well. There's underlying. I didn't like the way the dad was behaving. I didn't like the way that he was behaving in terms of the way that, the way that they were joking about. And I mean, I get it. When lads get together, we do talk about girls in a certain way. Let's be honest. When lads get together, if you ever get around the guys, you know how we speak. Let's keep it 1% trill blood. Yeah, if we say the body mad, the body mad. Do you understand? So I'm not really concerned about that, but it's just the overall, it's the several events. It wasn't just a joking. It was the way the dad joked as well. The way that you spoke about you're not really attracted to her. But the way that you were involved in the conversation about sex. There was so many different things that were the ex situation. All those things that were planned on that was making it such an unfortunate and uncomfortable experience watching from a viewer's point of view. Like thinking to ourselves, "Oh Lord, Paige, I hope the Holy Spirit's telling you to leave." And so the pride and the arrogance, it's done. Like that relationship from my perspective, it's a done deal. Like I'm not about that life. You understand? Okay, cool. Carrying on. While Pastor Cal's short lecture video didn't directly reference Chris or the show, Married at First Sight fans took the opportunity to blast him in the comment section about his decision to match Chris with the lovely Paige Banks on season 12. One Instagram user wrote, "Paige deserved better. Seems like her happiness was compromised for ratings. So sad." But Pastor Carl insisted Chris and Paige were not matched to boost ratings. "Thank you for caring for Paige," Pastor Carl responded. "We do also, and she knows it. We do also, and she knows it, since we're in communication with her. Ratings are never more important than our couples." Like, I get it. I hear you. Yes, couples are not more important than, the ratings are not more important than the couples, but it seems like it is from our perspective, because we're looking at it, like I said, where was the due diligence of searching through who this guy is on, like Facebook, Instagram, they are all open, and some of the videos were on his Instagram. Like, these are things that were already open into the public. So it's like, how is it that a team who is well established, been doing this for how many seasons now, doesn't see that? Like I said, when I went on to, I think I was applying for something, dance or whatever, I can't remember what it was, got to dance. Bruv, they were doing checks on me as well, bruv. It's not like this random people getting on. They do checks to you. You know what I'm saying? And you have to clear the checks. So, we all expect a bit more and a bit better in that respect. One person asked, how Chris get cast? We do, and the response was, "We do our absolute best to match couples with integrity," Pascal explained, "but we can't predict how they will act when the cameras roll. We're surprised also." Pascal therefore suggested that experts had no idea Chris would behave unfavorably in a marriage. And I think it's not even just a marriage, because he wasn't married yet. It was unfavorably from the jump. We didn't like the way he was behaving, but obviously once he got married, it made it even worse. But obviously, you can't estimate exactly how someone's going to behave. But I think these psychometric tests let us know how they will handle things, right? Just like we're talking about Ready to Love and how they choose specific people, knowing how they're going to handle situations, is the exact same thing here. People are going to react in a certain way, and due to these several and he said it himself on the show, episode 1, where he's talking to his grandparents, he answers so many questions. So they have some idea, right? Like I said, unless this guy has fully lied about the way about his application and all the questions that he put on there, that's even more scarier thought. You know what I mean? Let me read it on again. It says, and so an additional follower complained and said, "Why couldn't there be a representation of a black man for Paige? Why couldn't there be a better representation of a black man for Paige? I'm truly disappointed in matchmaking. You have to represent better than this for us, Pastor Cal. I feel so bad for her." Pastor Cal responded, "People surprise us, but there's always a chance for redemption." Now, I'm really hoping that when they're saying this, the light at the end of the tunnel is because you're saying to me that something's going to change at the end. Now, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. Things are only going to get better. It's not. Because it's going to get worse before it gets better, if that is the case, because we're going to find out that he got another girl pregnant, who's his ex, who he got a tattoo covered over a few days ago. Like, there's a lot of things that are not looking right now. So at the moment, yes, it's not. I'll be honest with you. The chance, there is a chance for redemption, but I knew that as soon as Paige was speaking that this is a ride or die situation, and I hope she rides out. I hope she goes for an annulment, because in this case, this requires annulment due to the fact of the behaviors and factors that are at play. This isn't a normal divorce situation. This needs an annulment based on what we're seeing. Shortly after Pascal shared his video post, he initially tried to brush the haters off. One Instagram user complained, "Pascal, what are you thinking matching Chris with Paige? Terrible, I feel so bad for her." He says, "Thank you for your opinion," Pascal replied. Another person wrote, "You failed with this season with all ignorant dude," referring to Chris. Pascal wrote back, again, "Thank you for your opinion." But as the complaints kept coming, Pascal clearly felt the need to address the backlash in a more direct manner. Married at First Sight experts were accused of not doing simple background checks and setting Paige up to fail and be humiliated on television for entertainment and drama. One individual went as far as to say Chris casting is an embarrassment to the poor girl and to the black community. And I do hear that. I think To us as a black community, but again, I don't want to make this as a black community thing. Here's my thing: Married at First Sight. Listen, they are not doing this only to black people. I want to make it very, very clear. They're not doing this to only black people. This is happening to white people too, yeah. And any couple that comes on that show, it's not unique. Okay, we had Zach last 2 years or whatever. We also had what's the tall guy? I can't remember his name. We had Derek and Katie. We've had what's her name? What's his name? What's Kate and Luke? Like, do you know what I'm saying? In recent past weeks, like, bruv, it's not a black thing. Let's not make it a black thing, right? Let's look at the evidence and then speak. One thing I don't like doing is just making it, it's a black thing instantly. No. Look at the evidence of the couples. There have been other couples of other races that have not worked, okay, and it's not a black thing. Where we've looked at, even this season, we're looking at Eric and Virginia, asking ourselves the question, why are they doing Eric wrong like that? You know, so it's not a black thing, right? It says, although Chris and Paige were ultimately matched for matrimony, Pascal was shown expressing some hesitation and concern about the pairing when the experts were deciding to match the couple on season 12's Married at First Sight matchmaking special, which is very, very true. I want to shout out Pascal for that. He did, raise some concerns in regard to the connection. And I want to read this on. It says, the one thing that scares me, though, is he's particular and so down persnickety about everything, from his hair to his clothing. Everything has to be perfect, Pascal told Pepper and Viviana. And this is a good point, because everything about Chris, okay, is particular, which is why as soon as I saw Paige, I said this is going to be trouble. I think as a man, you can see, you can understand how other men kind of think by what they say. And as soon as he said the kind of girl that he wanted, I was looking at it like, no, that's not the type of girl he has. That's not the kind of girl that he's thinking in his mind, right? Paige is a lovely girl. She's attractive, but I can tell that's not the conventional. When I say conventional, that's not the attraction that he was talking about. That's not the type of girl he's looking at. That's not the type of black woman he's wanting. And I could tell straight away. Yeah, and then many girls are in the thing saying, but Paige is so beautiful. Stop telling men how we look at women. It's one of the most frustrating things I find in the society. How are you going to tell me what I find beautiful? Stop telling us that. What you think is beautiful, you wouldn't even marry your friend. Allow it. We are the ones out here that are looking at certain girls saying, okay, we think we like them or we don't like them. So leave it for the man to say that, right? But I agree. Paige is an attractive woman. She is an attractive woman. Even me, though, that isn't necessarily my, when I look at Paige, that's not my kind of type of girl. You understand? The body mad though, but it's not my type of girl. I already said this. I think she's attractive, but I'm not attracted. Do you understand? So, and I don't want to say, and I'll probably talk about this in another video. This whole colorism stuff, just because man said that's not his type. Listen, we need to stop that. Like, unless you got evidence for that, let's stop doing that. Stop labeling everything as colorism. Yeah, unless we've got evidence to say as to why, pointing to this is colorism. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's because we go into this victim blaming kind of mode where we're like, the reason why I didn't like her is because you don't like dark skinned women. Who told you? Did he say that? Did he explain that? Like, even if you look at his girlfriends, even if you go back to his girlfriends and his girlfriends are slightly lighter than her, you still can't make that full deduction. You know what I mean? Like, let's be careful how we're labeling things and not just jump to, because you feel that way and you want to project that onto him. Look, just because there are guys who are colorists, it doesn't mean every guy is a colorist, okay? But we'll talk about that in another video. And Pascal went on to say as well, and I don't know if she's going to fit into his perfect image of what a wife looks like. Thank you, Pascal. But the Married at First Sight experts apparently had many reasons for matching Chris with the seemingly sweet and sincere Paige. They both have serious spiritual foundation, which again, I said as a Christian, you need to really assess this. Not everyone who says God is God. They both have a spiritual foundation and a strong conviction that God brought this entire opportunity to them. Pastor Kyle explained at the time. Pepper said Paige has a great personality and she's also a very sexual kind of person, which is very true. This is a real stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is where I can understand, right? She has a master's in accounting, and I remember listening to her and thinking, this woman can work a room. And then I remember Chris saying what he wanted was somebody who can work a room. Pepper recalled. What Chris wanted is somebody as ambitious as he was. He did say that he was previously engaged. So what it tells me is he has been wanting to get married. He wants somebody who can charge ahead with him. And I feel like she would be the person. Now, here's my thing. So wait, hold on a minute. If Chris has said he's been previously engaged, did anybody ask, when were you engaged? Because he had the confidence and the bravado and the absolute cahoots to tell people on the show that he was previously engaged only a few months ago. So as experts, if someone tells me that they were engaged only 3 months ago and they want to marry, I'm gonna be like, bro, look, you might want to settle, bro. You might want to settle, bro. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. 3 months ago, it's not a long time ago. Right? To enter into a full-bodied commitment, not even dating, full-bodied commitment. Man, you know, who was not asking that question? That's a question someone's got to be asking. Timeframes. And if they did know, that's political. I'm sure nobody would, in their professional advice, would advise this. I wouldn't, and I'm not professional. You understand? I wouldn't. I would not. It goes on to say, Dr. Viviana added that Paige is smart, driven, and to put it simply, she's got it. But she said her real purpose on Earth is to be a mother. Chris wants to have seven children, Viviana noted. Dr. Pepper worried about whether Paige would want to be that much of a mother, but Pascal joked wanting is more fun than having. That's true. And then Dr. Viviana said they can have fun trying. Okay, and I also think it goes on to say, and I also think they will find some compatibility there. Pascal reasoned of how the couple's dynamic in the bedroom might be. I think they are both open and they express affection. And then Chris immediately raised eyebrows and became disliked by many Married at First Sight fans when he told the cameras he wanted to be matched with a woman who's intelligent, submissive, sexy, good in bed, and a freak. I didn't really have a problem with that, saying someone is submissive, but I guess obviously alluding to that may be a problematic situation. But I didn't actually have a problem with him saying someone's submissive. Just like when women say they want a provider, I don't really have a problem with that. So long as you're obviously, again, depends on how you kind of say it. But I could see how someone might feel a certain way about him saying, I want a woman that's submissive, you know, because it's abused a lot of times, right? And so, yeah, I mean, just leaving it on that note, I want to say that obviously I can see why as we as an audience are frustrated. And when I do a part 2 of this video, I'll talk about it. But there are some glaringly things here, like if we knew he was engaged, who is doing the checkup? Who is saying, listen, actually, when were you engaged? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is for me a key indication of where someone is lying and standing. And that's a key indication of somebody who potentially may not be about being responsible as a partner. Do you know what I'm saying? But hey ho, let me leave it there. Let us know what you thought about this particular I guess reading I've done of this article. The article was on Reality TV World. I'll put a link in the description, but let us know your thoughts as well. Make sure you like and share, subscribe. Please like this video, it helps with the optics. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications of the uploads, and we appreciate you. Little Black Book signing out.